everybody, my name is Javier, and I'm going to present you guys how to drive a manual. So by a show of hands, who in here knows how to drive? Alright, that's majority. Alright. So, has anybody here ever drove a manual before, ever in their life? Alright. Somebody want to share? Like their experience?
I wouldn't say I drove like a manual car, but like I put my car in manual and use like the shit.
Oh, paddle shift?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. Anybody else?
It really stinks when you get stuck on a hill.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about myself. So I'm a big car guy, by the way. My family always loved cars, and I always loved cars growing up. So my dad always had a car that was manual, so I kind of get to see that experience firsthand. So there was one night, me and my dad, we went to his job, and we went around the parking lot. He got out the car and he told me to go around the parking lot a few times and practice, so I can get used to the clutch and everything. So I practiced for like about an hour, and then he got in the car and told me to drive home. So I drove home, and I didn't stall one time, but that's a quick little story. But the first thing you want to do when you drive a car that's manual, you want to make sure the handbrake is up, and you want to make sure that gear is neutral. You don't want to have the gear in first or second when you're trying to start it, because then when you start it, it might go, the car's gonna go forward. So you want to make sure the gears are neutral, the handbrake is up. Now, this is the easiest part of the whole process, starting the car. It's simple. All you gotta do, put your foot on the brake and press the clutch all the way down, and you start it. All right, and when you're ready to reverse now, this for beginners is kind of like tricky, because you gotta balance the clutch out and everything. So what you do is you push the handbrake down first, push the clutch all the way down, and you have your you can take your foot off the brake, and then put the gear in reverse, and then you slowly release the clutch. You don't want to release it too fast, because if you release it too fast, the car's gonna shut off. So you want to make sure you release your foot off the clutch very slow, and then you're gonna start feeling the car to move back. And once the car starts to roll back, that's when you give it some gas. So that's reversing. Now going forward now is kind of tricky as well for beginners, because they're still learning. So what you do is you put your foot on the clutch all the way down, you put it in first gear, and then you release the clutch slowly, and then the car's gonna start to go forward, move forward. So once the car starts to move forward, that's when you give it enough. That's when you give it a little bit of gas, and then you're gonna go. So, and then now the trickiest part, well, one of the trickiest parts for beginners is you're trying to shift from the next gear, from like first to second. So what you need to do is you take your foot off the gas, and you press the clutch all the way down. But you don't want to press it halfway, because if you're trying to shift while pressing the clutch halfway, trying to shift from first to second, you're gonna hear like a raking noise. You might damage your transmission doing that. So make sure you press the clutch all the way down when you're trying to shift to the next gear. So what you do is take your foot off the gas, press the clutch all the way down, and then you shift to second gear, and then you release your foot off the clutch very slowly, not too fast, or the car's gonna you can feel a jerk, and then you get back on the gas. It's the same way how you do it in third gear. Third gear is the same way. Off the gas, clutch in all the way down, shift to third gear, release your foot off the clutch slowly, and then get back. You gotta get back on the gas. On an intersection or a stop sign, for example, when you're ready to slow down, it's called downshifting and everything. So what you do is you take your foot off the gas, press the clutch all the way down, shift to second gear, and then now you're in second gear. But you don't have to shift from second to first. You can just shift from second to neutral when you come to a stop. So, and the last thing I really want to, the trickiest part of driving the manual is on a hill, like you pointed out. So basically, if you have the handbrake down and your foot on the brake and everything, then the car's gonna roll back. So you want to make sure that the handbrake is up, and you want to make sure that the gears are neutral. So the key to mastering that on the hill is so you have the handbrake is up, so you can take your foot off the brake, because you don't have to rely on the brake because the handbrake is up. So what you do is put it in first gear, and you release the clutch very slowly, and the car's gonna start to move forward. And then after that, you're gonna push the handbrake down at the same time, and then you give it gas. So that's mainly it, you know, about driving a manual. So, do anybody consider driving a manual now that I teach y'all the basics? Anybody? Anybody else?
I have a question.
What's the question?
So when do you know when to shift up?
Oh, when the shift to the next gear? Well, you kind of have to listen to the engine.
You gotta listen.
You gotta have to listen to the engine, like the revs, you know, because you have the speedometer gauge and you have the RPM gauge. What RPM stands for, it stands for rev per minute. So you know how you see on the RPM gauge, you see 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, and so on. So you kind of want to rev between maybe like 2,000, 3,000 RPMs. It just depends on the engine, you know, all depends on that. So does that answer your question?
You can't listen to music when you're driving.
You can.
It's kind of like you feel it. For
You're not gonna be doing much else though.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be texting and driving.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but all you gotta do is just listen to the engine. That's really it. Any other questions? All right, that's it. Thank you guys.